Hello, welcome to TheMan Games. This is the podcast show. It's TheMan
And the Wife
Podcast. So as you can tell by now, we have gone old school. We've gone back to the way we were doing it before. If you do prefer it with us on screen, let us know in the comments and we'll continue to do it on screen. But we've just had a busy day, so that is why we're doing it like this today.
Yeah. Sometimes getting on camera takes a bit more effort, especially on my part.
So Fastlane 2021 is in the books. Like overall, before we go into full detail, would you say it's thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
I'm gonna say just a thumbs up. Like it literally.
Oh, really?
Literally just goes from a middle to it almost up.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Fastlane as a pay-per-view, don't like.
Me neither.
Just don't see the need for it. I don't like how many pay-per-views WWE has anyway, and I feel like this is one that you could definitely cut. Personally.
I'm thinking back, the last Fastlane pay-per-view that I was invested in was the last time Roman and Daniel Bryan were in the main event at Fastlane, and I think that was the first one that they did.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So see a trend there.
Definitely.
What about you? Do you think a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
For me, it was probably a thumbs in the middle, just because I just was not really into this pay-per-view at all until Drew Sheamus match.
Right.
I just didn't like, obviously we're going into more detail, I just didn't really like a lot of what happened at the beginning of the show. It kind of feels like the show was in two...
start slagging the show off and then everyone's going to be like, oh, why would you give it that rating?
Yeah.
I think I panicked. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
It felt like a show in two parts. They've done this before with a TLC, I can't remember which year it was, but where half the show was just terrible and the other half of the show was really good. It was the same with there was a No Mercy pay-per-view as well. They did the same. It was one where Roman and Cena were in it, and the undercard part of the show was a lot better than the two main events. I can't remember what the main event was now, but maybe it's just the layout of this match. This card. Maybe it needs jigging up a little bit. But
yeah, it just seemed to be the first half. It was just really. Was quite bland, really, wasn't it? And then it picked up towards the end. But I feel like what happened towards the end sort of made up a bit for the crappiness.
Maybe.
A little bit, slightly.
So this took place at the Tropicana Field venue. Obviously, attendance was 0. It's in the Thunderdome.
You're so funny.
So going to the network to watch this, the network has changed finally. So when you go, there's match graphics now, and they don't spoil what's happened in the show. Which
I also think that made you happiest out of this entire pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So that is finally something good coming from the network.
You were proper buzzing at 6 a.m. this morning, weren't you?
Yeah. So the first match was Bianca Belair, Charlotte. Why did I say Charlotte Flair? Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Funny story, my phone's changed Shayna Baszler to Sheamus Baszler.
Huh?
I think she says Sheamus Baszler.
Huh? So this is for the Tag Team Championships.
This annoys me.
Reginald was in the corner of Nia and Shayna. I would not have opened with this match. That's my first note. I would have opened with Seth Rollins' match. I feel like it could have set a good pace. Obviously, Seth and Nakamura are going to do great, good things. So why not? I just feel like the first 3 matches there was a lot of shenanigans. Maybe is the best way to put it.
Yeah, for this match, just to the point of it, I just don't see why.
This is the second time we've had it as well.
Second time we've had it. I don't understand why Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair are teaming up when they're supposed to be fighting at Mania in 3 weeks. I don't really care about the women's tag team championships because they just seem, to me, worthless. I don't understand why
that's because there's no real tag teams.
Well, that's it. And then I don't understand why they brought another lot down in NXT. That just blows my mind. It's completely stupid there. So all around, I have a sour taste just even going into this match. Do you know what I mean? And then seeing Reginald at ringside as well with his bloody crop trousers and those shoes, that just tipped me over the edge.
Yeah, everyone seems to have a lot of hate for Reginald.
Yeah, poor Reginald. It's not his fault, is it? But,
Yeah. So going into the actual match, Bianca Belair, she hits a really nice 450 splash in this match, but Reginald gets involved and shenanigans. So Sasha and Belair, they seem to be getting into each other's faces. Sasha pushes Belair, Nia Jax rolls her up, and that was the end of the match, really. There wasn't, like, really
other than
a lot.
that 450 splash from Belair, which obviously then Reginald, like, ruined, there wasn't really a lot that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and this match went just under 10 minutes. It went 9 minutes, 45 seconds.
And it was just... Ew.
Yeah, not a massive fan of this. And then at the end, Sasha's calling Belair a rookie and slaps her, and Bianca Belair's very, very shocked that she gets slapped.
Which I don't understand why she's so shocked. Like, I saw it coming. Did you not see it coming? I don't know.
So yeah, not a great start to the pay-per-view, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like, I don't understand how this helps their feud going into Mania. Like, can someone explain that to me? Well,
this is kind of like a match that needed no help, really. Like, one's the boss, one's like the EST. It's meant to be like both the women that perceive themselves as being the best.
Yeah.
So why do you need all this other crap going on?
Well, this is what I mean. It's like, it just, to me, it just doesn't help the feud. It just, anyway. Maybe I'll be wrong and no one will surprise me.
Maybe.
But then after that, we see like an image, isn't it, of Shane McMahon, and he's injured. He gets injured whilst, it's like early in the day, and he gets injured whilst training.
Which is strange because obviously they announced the match on Raw, then they unannounced the match, and then it's like they made the match, but then they didn't want to do the match, but they didn't know how they weren't going to do the match. And now they're just saying like the match was going to happen. I mean, what the hell?
What's creative doing? Like, are they getting paid for this, or is it just like...
It's shocking how probably, like, now they've probably got like 10 writers for the show. And back in the day, I'm sure that it used to be like Vince, Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson or something, and they used to do the show.
Yeah.
Gone from 3 people to, probably like 15.
Yeah. So anyway,
Shane's wearing it. Sorry to interrupt you. Shane is wearing a Stupid Express t-shirt. That's just stupid, innit? Like, how old is he?
Yeah. Looks like a child, doesn't he? Anyway, so yeah. Then you see him like walking out of the doctor trainer room, and he has like a crutch. He's got one crutch and he's like got ice on his knee. Elias and who was the other guy?
Jackson Riker.
Yeah, they come up and start talking to Shane about how much Elias wants to be at Mania and blah blah blah.
Match at Mania, it's been his dream. Well, he had a match last year, pal.
Yeah, and then Shane
says... Fun fact. Well, not really fun fact. Can you actually remember who he was against at WrestleMania last year? Elias? Yeah. I bet if you had 10 guesses, you couldn't guess.
What, it was like, okay, so there was no people there, was there?
No.
Not a clue.
King Corbin.
Why are we not even on the pay-per-view?
Reasons. Corbin sent him off the balcony or something, I think. That's
right. Okay.
And also, Bobby Lashley had a match at WrestleMania last year. Do you remember who it was against?
No.
Aleister Black.
Oh.
Yeah. So, how times have changed. Aleister Black can't even get on the show, and Bobby Lashley's the champion. And that was a match that had no reason to be a match at Mania. It was just there.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So, yeah. Going forward.
Where were we?
Oh, sorry. You were saying about Jackson Riker being with Elias and Elias winning a Mania match. So then I said, can you remember when...
Okay. And then Shane says, I've got something for you, and they end up in the ring, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next match is Big E against Apollo. So what's your thoughts on Apollo? Because a while ago we had this big discussion on...
I know, so what happened was...
I was saying that you could not turn Apollo heel. And then they've gone and done it and proved me completely wrong.
Because I was right. But in saying that, I do like that they turned him heel.
Yeah.
I like some aspects of what he's doing. The accent, though, seriously winds me up.
Yeah, he shows a lot of teeth, doesn't he?
Yeah, but not even that. It's like, where you just don't drop an accent.
Well, they did actually
address it,
which is, it's not...
What did they say?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Can't be that great.
It's like embracing his Nigerian heritage or something.
Yeah, well, I embrace my Australian heritage, which I grew up in Australia, and I still sound British. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, it's just no. It really, that's just like, I can still be an Aussie with my English accent.
Yeah. So I did actually really enjoy this match. I know I did say I didn't really like the first half of the match. It was just more like the ending of the match I didn't really enjoy. Because it starts off Big E, speared Apollo through the ropes.
Yeah, so it's also like really hot, doesn't it? Like
yeah, it's like real fast pace.
Really good, yeah.
He's like talking, like everyone on this pay-per-view seems to be talking a lot of trash, let's be honest.
Yeah.
He hits like 3 splashes on the apron. I thought the presentation of Big E made him, like, the opening part of the match just made him look like an absolute star.
I think they both look really good.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the match.
Yeah, but then Apollo stops him in his tracks as he delivers a dropkick to his knees, and Apollo's on top for a little while. He hits a standing moonsault onto Big E at one point, but then Big E gets his knees up. And then, like, towards the end of the match, there was... some people think this was a botch, some people don't.
It has to be a botch because there was no replay. So, I don't know if you, like, noticed, but, like, obviously they always, like, replay the ending, don't they, for you to see. And there was not one replay of what happened. And,
so basically, like, a Big E rolled up Apollo for the win. That was it, wasn't it?
But
really,
it was just really weird. It just didn't make. It was very strange. It looked botched. There was no replay, and we even got later on a replay of bloody Braun Strowman opening his mouth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that at the end of his match, like we saw that as a replay, but we didn't see the replay of this pin.
Well, the only reason why I thought maybe it was planned is because obviously there was like an after segment. So Apollo attacks Big E after the match. He hits a stiff slap. We've just seen that in the first match with Belair and Sasha. But then he hits like 2 Olympic slams or angle slams, whatever you want to call them, onto Big E. And at the end of all this, Corey Graves says, Apollo is the last man standing. So surely does that mean we're going to get a last man standing match at Mania?
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, it's a real shame. Like, I really hope that Big E and Apollo don't get, like, bollocked for, like, it being a botch. Well, what
if it was
a botch, because
like I said,
I always get the impression that, like, if you do something wrong, you get in trouble, sort of thing, like at WWE. Whereas, like, it's not just like, oh well, accidents happen, and I don't want them to, like, stop this because do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I did actually really enjoy this. I just didn't really like the ending. Yeah. That match went 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Like,
and also,
how did this have 5 minutes in the first match had 10?
Yeah, and also the run. You saying you think it might have been, like, cut short. The run time was like 2 hours 44 minutes, and normally WWE pay-per-views are minimum 3 hours. So maybe that's where they lost some time.
Maybe.
So the next up, there was a 24/7 segment where there was an Old Spice commercial, but it wasn't really an Old Spice commercial. And then Akira Tozawa was there.
It was really funny. So
it was not funny.
Oh, I thought it was funny. Ugh. So Drew Gulak walks up first, and there's like a salesman, like a guy like advertising. I just thought it was anyway. So
that guy's meant to be like an NXT wrestler. I can't remember his name, but
anyway. He gives Drew Gulak a free sample of Old Spice, and then what's his name? Akira Tozawa comes along. Well, like, I don't understand the ninja ref, but anyway, and he's asking for R-Truth, and you see, like, R-Truth, like, pop up from behind the display of
Why are you doing actions? We're not on screen today.
Well, because I can't help it. Behind the display. And then you, like, see his hand stick out and hands Tozawa a deodorant. And at first, like, Tozawa goes to take it, doesn't he? And then, like, he pulls Truth, and then, like, a scuffle happens. And then the guy from NXT, he pins Truth for the title. Which I think, had they left it there, and maybe done a bit more, that would have really enjoyed it. But then they, straight away, Truth wins it back.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying. But had the NXT guy kept it for a bit, and maybe even if they did another segment later on in the show...
Yeah, they just need to drop the 24/7 title. Truth is just so much better than this.
And it just annoys me that, like, it has, like, it just changes so quickly all the time. Like,
and it has to be involved with R-Truth.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I just think it needs to
go away.
Have that, yeah. But I did chuckle at this, at that segment.
So next up it is Braun versus Shane, but Shane says Elias is going to take his place. Elias does hit a nice elbow drop. Braun doesn't seem to care that he's not fighting Shane McMahon at all.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to care. He's like, all right, then I'll just beat this man up.
He plants, I'm not even sure what the move was, but he plants Elias like stiff in the middle of the ring, hits his power slam, which they just call it like a running power slam, but surely it should be called the Strowman Express. I actually thought it was called the Strowman Express. That just makes so much sense.
Yeah,
I'm sure when I'm doing 2K20 videos, I always say he hits the Strowman Express.
You need to email WWE and let them know.
Maybe. This just went 3 minutes 50 seconds.
Riker pulls Elias out of the ring, doesn't he? At some point, save him.
So Braun didn't care he wasn't fighting Shane. what does that mean? Like, yeah, I don't even have the words. It just
Why?
If you weren't going to do it, then just don't do it. Don't have this here.
Instead, like, this is on pay-per-view. Like, why is this on pay-per-view? Do you know what I mean? Like, are they getting a pay-per-view pay for this?
They don't get pay-per-view pairs anymore, I don't think, do they?
Do they not?
Not since the network, I don't think. Because people are buying the network, they're not buying, like, pay-per-view buys.
So I wonder, like, how they get paid. That's just interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I do not know.
Interesting.
So, do you think we're going to see Braun Strowman and Jackson Riker have a match tonight? Just because reasons, we could do.
Definitely.
And also, Braun and Elias was a feud from, like, 3 years ago, something like that, which no one was interested in. So why do this as well? Moving on. So we see a replay of Riddle and Ali. They were in the pre-show match. Their match went 9 minutes and 16 seconds. Riddle, so he beat Mustafa Ali, and then at the end, Reckoning walks away after getting shouted at by Ali. Slapjack walks away, and then Mace and Reckoning, they take down Ali.
No, Mace and T-Bar.
Sorry. Yeah, Mace and T-Bar.
Yes. Attack Ali. Obviously, it's not actually that important, but anyway.
Well, I can see maybe Slapjack's going to go back to being Shane Form. Reckoning's probably just going to go back to being Mia Yim. And maybe Mace and T-Bar become a tag team, maybe. But I'd rather just see Dominic Dijakovic come back and stop this T-Bar stuff.
It's just stupid, isn't it? They know these names. T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack.
They're just awful, aren't they?
Mm.
But Riddle did hit a nice Bro Derek off, I think it was the middle rope, maybe, for the win. That was a good move.
Yeah.
Really, I would rather watch that than
Braun and Elias.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you think, like, Riddle, the United States champion, isn't on the main show, but Elias is.
Yeah. So you see Riddle backstage with Shinsuke Nakamura. What the hell was all this about? Because he just talks crap, really.
Isn't his character that he's high all the time?
That's him in real life, darling.
Well, I know that, but surely he can't kind of work high.
Well, they just make him just look like an idiot. He's going around on this bloody scooter and, yeah, it's
one of those razor scooters, isn't it, that used to fall down?
Yeah.
I can remember when they first came out, like when they first came out in Australia, and me and my brother really wanted one. We actually saved up our pocket money.
I cannot imagine you saving your money to buy anything, because you never have an all the time we've been together.
I have saved money for things.
Like?
I've saved money for... I saved to go to America and that when we went to Florida. I saved to take us on a holiday to Gran Canaria.
Okay, darling. These things were like 8 years ago. Moving on.
But no.
The next match was Seth Rollins against Shinsuke Nakamura. So Rollins kept on just going on and on and on about Cesaro swinging
22 times.
Yeah, he sure was, yeah.
But there was one point in this match where Shinsuke gets him into like some weird submission. And it was amazing. It was really good. I don't know what it was, but it was a very, very good submission. That is not helpful, I realise, to anybody in the podcast who's listening and what I'm talking about. But if you've watched the match, you'll know what I mean. But Rollins does get to the bottom rope. And then he rolls out of the ring, and then Shinsuke gets him with a good baseball slide as well.
Yeah, he hits a nice dive to Nakamura into the barricade. He does like a nice sliding German suplex onto Rollins. Sorry, does Nakamura, which I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. So Rollins is like on the middle rope, and he like slides out and then takes him down. That was really good.
There's a point where Rollins was lying on the apron, and Shinsuke does knee to the back of Rollins' head, a bit like a guillotine or something. That was good.
So then Nakamura goes for a King Shasta. Seth reverses it into a Booker bomb. And then he blows Nakamura in the back of the head. Curb stomp. Rollins wins. This went 12 minutes and 55 seconds. I kind of feel like this was a good match. It was probably I don't know, because I did really enjoy the in-ring stuff from Big E and Apollo. I kind of just felt like maybe they were just holding a little bit back Seth Rollins and Nakamura because there wasn't really a big enough reason for them to have like a really good match.
Yeah. Which is fair enough.
So this match went 12 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. Like, just an easy watch.
It was fine, wasn't it?
Like an easy watch, isn't it? You know, put an easy watch on.
So next up, we had Sheamus against Braveheart. Drew McIntyre
He's got a face paint on, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought he looked really cool. At first, I was a bit unsure, but I do think it really added to the character. I feel like it's helping him get over, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know when this was made, a no holds barred match, but for some reason it was. Yeah. But no, I did think Drew looked really, really cool. There's a lot of like stiff kendo shots in this match.
Kendo stick shots, yeah.
And like using the kendo stick as a weapon. I think it's McIntyre is like jabbing it into the eye of Sheamus, and Sheamus is wrapping it around the mouth of Drew. So, yeah.
There's a point where Drew does like a stomp onto Sheamus on the steel steps. That was really good.
Yeah, just stomping his head into the steps.
That looked.
So then they're like battling around the arena. They're going to like the Thunderdome. Sheamus hits a rolling senton onto Drew. Drew sends Sheamus through the Thunderdome. So like there's like explosions and stuff like that. I kind of thought maybe that was like a jab at AEW.
I thought that
because like they had like a better,
like a proper. Like, that was what it was. That was an absolute jab at AEW.
Yeah,
money on it.
I know we're not talking about AEW, but it wasn't like, obviously the ending to that pay-per-view wasn't great, but like I don't feel like it annoyed me as much as it's annoyed other people.
Oh yeah.
Some people are just still going about now.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bro kick sending Drew over the barricade. That was good as well.
Yeah, Drew had to push Sheamus on like a storage box to get him back to the ring. Like after the going through the Thunderdome. And then there's a white noise from Sheamus off the barricade through the commentary table. Then we've got some more like stiff slaps. Future Shock DDT onto a part of the commentary table, which I think Sheamus brought that into the ring. Claymore. Drew wins. This match went 19 minutes and 40 seconds. This was definitely, at this point, the best thing we'd done on the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Really, like just a very good match. You know, I think it's probably the best out of their matches so far, I would say.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Well, I missed one because I just didn't want to watch Raw that week.
Okay, but the ones that you have
Which
watched...
is something that I honestly don't really do that often. Even if I know I'm not going to enjoy it, I still watch it just out of habit. But yeah, when you have a daughter that's 9 months and you think, what would you rather do? Get up and watch Raw, having that extra half an hour in bed? I chose that extra half an hour in bed. So next up, we've got the intergender match. It is Randy Orton against Alexa Bliss. So at the beginning of the match, Orton's doing like his pose and he starts spewing like black stuff out of his mouth. Bliss has got like a new look as well. She's got like a white face. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, quite pale. She's got like black
contacts in. I think she's had the contacts for a while, but I think it's the first time I've seen like the white makeup.
But she's got quite dark eye makeup on there as well.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So Orton goes to get to Bliss, but then she there's like fire in between them, and then
that was pretty cool. Like how it came out of nowhere.
It'll have been all pre-recorded though.
Yeah, no, that but like it still looks good.
Yeah. And then they're on the outside, and Bliss looks up, and the lights fall down, and Orton's like, "You trying to kill me?" It's like, well, you did try to kill the Fiend. Like, why are you so shocked that she might be trying to kill you?
Do you know what this reminds me of? When Dobby is in the Malfoy Manor,
right?
And he cuts down the
the
chandelier,
yeah.
And she's like, "You're trying to kill me, Elf?" He's like, "Not kill, just
maim or seriously injure."
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say because she tried to give him a sock. I was like, I missed that part.
No.
Oh, when like the lights dropped, she's like, "Ooh, so close." That was like pretty funny. But the amount of time they spent outside the ring, surely they should have been counted out. Like, they seem to be outside the ring for so long. Yeah. And then they're in the ring and Bliss somehow throws like a fireball at Orton, which he seems... I'm sure the commentators say he blocked. How the hell do you block it?
Blocking a fireball. Yeah. That's hilarious. So the commentators are actually really stupid in this match, aren't they? Like, the next thing that happens and
Yeah. And then the hand comes through the ring, grabs Orton... Like, I think
did you hear when the hand came through? I think it was Corey Graves, but I could be wrong. Said,
no, it weren't. No, I think you're thinking Todd Phillips.
Maybe it was Todd Phillips. I don't know. Whoever was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
Like, are you actually kidding me? Who is it? Like, how do you not know? Like, what is wrong with you? Obviously, it's the Fiend. Everybody, I bet anybody. Oh my god, that really annoyed me. Sorry. I'll let you continue.
Yeah. So yeah, then there's like fire from where the hole is, and then the Fiend rises. I'm not sure. I've not really looked too much into like other people's thoughts on it, but I thought the Fiend looked pretty cool. I like how like the mask kind of like seems to have incorporated into like his actual face because of like the burniness.
Yeah,
I did really like it.
I saw one meme and it was saying, because I didn't know this, but apparently like WWE have stopped like letting them hit their legs when they're kicking.
Yeah.
And it's like because what's the word they use? Like it's not believable or whatever.
Right.
But then they put like the picture of the Fiend up,
right.
And like, but this is.
Yeah, I get that.
Which
I did notice in the Rollins match because he does like this spin kick and there's always like a noise and there wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that didn't really look as cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but apparently, and I don't know how true this is. Vince doesn't like seeing it on camera, like when they hit their legs.
Right.
I think that, but like, anyway, yeah. I don't think them hitting the legs takes away from it, really. Do you?
No, and I kind of feel like most wrestlers are really good at hiding it as well, because the first time I remember actually seeing someone do it was Tyson Kidd at an NXT show. At NXT Revolution, I think it was.
I'm sure I said to you, I was like,
yeah.
they hit the legs.
Yeah, but like
and you were like, what? And
no,
I was
like when I used to like play wrestling and things like that, I used to do it to make the noise. Like obviously, I'm not really going to kick like people, like me and my nieces and nephews. But like it was the first time, like visually, like I'd seen it so like close up.
Yeah.
Because the camera is proper like on Tyson when he did it. But we're moving on. Sorry, not moving on. We're getting sidetracked, aren't we?
Yeah.
So then Bliss sends him into the Fiend. Fiend hits Sister Abigail. So shouldn't that have been a DQ, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Bliss like pins Orton quite sexually and gets the win.
She straddles him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
So this
like
match went 4 minutes.
And then she like looks up at Fiend like lovingly.
Yeah. This match went 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So
did you enjoy that then?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, I would have liked to maybe actually seen Orton do something really. And I feel like the whole face and heel dynamic of this feud is just
all over the place.
Yeah. It's like Orton's meant to be the heel, but he's portrayed as the baby face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just don't really understand it.
Doesn't make sense.
And I think they want the Fiend to be a babyface, but is the Fiend? How can he be the babyface? Like
yeah,
I just
like
don't.
his whole character is like literally like the devil, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
I really don't understand.
I mean, can I see Fiend back though? So that was something that I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, it was good to see the Fiend.
I thought this like I liked how the creativity in this match. You know, the fireballs, even though we know that he didn't block it, and like the falling of the things. I don't know. I think it just adds to the mysteriousness of like the Fiend and Alex Bliss's character.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was fine. Like it was fine. Like I don't think it was terrible. Like a lot of people like to just crap on everything, don't they?
Yeah, I agree. Like I thought it was good. I thought I think for what it was what I expected. I think. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think I quite like that. I'm
just glad we can like move forward a little bit, and we're not just gonna see like Alexa Bliss on a swing every week on Raw, like saying Randy Orton, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So now it's time for the main event. It is the head of the table, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, going up against Daniel Bryan. So Edge is the special enforcer for reasons.
Don't really get special enforcers.
So they are on the outside, and if anything happens to the referee, they're going to intervene in the match, pretty much.
It's just stupid, isn't it?
So that obviously means the referee's going to get knocked down.
Yeah.
The only problem is with this match, my iPad ran out of battery, so I don't have any notes.
So over to me then. Oh, the stress is real. So I think that like the narrative of this match anyway is that Daniel Bryan is like trying to get Roman into like a submission, isn't he, and trying to get him to submit. And I think that's something that like the commentators are really putting over in this match. And at one point, quite early in the match, Bryan does get Roman into some sort of weird shoulder submission. Like, I'm not sure what it was, but he had, like, his shoulder really...
and all the time, like, Daniel Bryan's trying to get the holds on him. Roman Reigns just looks like really like annoyed. Like
like a dad annoyed with his kid. And then Brian gets a running drop kick to Reigns in the corner. Brian tries to go for a Hurricane Rana, but Reigns catches him and then powers him in the middle of the ring into a Boston Crab, also known as a
Walls of Jericho.
There's another Daniel Bryan with a running knee off the apron that was really good. And then Brian gets a Reigns into a yes lock. And then this is where it gets very what's the word I want to use? I want to say obvious, but just a bit predictable and silly. Would you say? So Brian knocks out the ref.
All right, yeah. Well, that ref bump was a bit stupid because the ref was clearly going to get hit.
Yeah, it was staying right behind Roman. And Roman hits Brian with a spear, and Edge gets a 2 count. Obviously, because Edge is on the edge, waiting to be.
Edge is on the edge.
Yep.
He was around the edge of the ring all through the match.
And obviously, it was just a 2 count. So then Brian gets Reigns into a triangle hold, I think it is. And then he puts him into a yes lock. And then, surprise, surprise, Jey Uso comes down. And he super kicks Edge and Brian. Goes to town, both of them, doesn't he? And Jey goes to hit Brian with a steel chair. But Brian ducks it out of the way and gets him with a running knee. Brian then attacks Jey with the steel chair. Lots of attacking thing going on. Brian then goes to hit Roman with the chair, but he ducks instead, and Brian hits Edge. Brian gets Reigns back into another yes lock, and Reigns taps.
Very, very lightly.
Very, the slightest little bit he taps. But then Edge hits Brian and Roman, together, with the steel chair. And then Reigns wins, really.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't really like about that was, I think Brian should have really kicked out just because there was a long pause.
Yeah.
Between getting hit and the pin. That's maybe the only thing I didn't really like. At one point, I did think when Jey had the chair in the ring, I thought he might have hit Roman.
Yeah.
And I thought
we
could have a fatal 4-way Mania.
Yeah.
But I do think the plan going forward is Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think
Daniel Bryan's there to hit the pin, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Edge is going to win. Bryan's going to eat the pin. Roman's not going to get pinned, so that's going to start the next match for Backlash or whatever it's going to be called. It's probably Backlash.
High points, low points of the pay-per-view for you?
High points, probably Sheamus Drew. I really like the whole presentation of Drew. I think they had a great match. I think that Sheamus should be used a lot better on Raw because he just seems to lose a lot. He could be just used so much better. They could have done this, have it more personal. Obviously, they've been friends for 20 years and had Sheamus trying to take the WWE Championship off Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But they've not done it that way, which I don't really understand. Maybe they think Bobby Lashley's a bigger name, that's why he's got the title.
Maybe.
And I think it's funny, there was no, I thought that Lashley would interfere and help Sheamus win, but that didn't happen. The Miz was just WWE champion 2 weeks ago. He wasn't even on the show at all.
Yeah.
Which was strange. So that was the high points. Low points was probably, probably Strowman and Elias, but very closely by the opening match as well.
Yeah. I would put Strowman and